Just a minute. Let me open the book.
Okay, namaste everyone. Good evening. Sorry, just a few technicalities, but we're getting there. So today we'll be doing a concluding portion of the Sri Paratrimshika, the first part of it, and wait until the end. What we'll do is we'll also have a discussion at the end of it. So Giridatna ji, over to you. Jembe Jagrudev. Jembe.
Yeah. Just a minute, son. Just a minute.
No problem. No problem.
Let me share the screen because I just now joined, so there is a bit delay. Today, I do not have any PPT PowerPoint presentation, but I have opened the book directly, which is PDF format. And because there are some diagrams which I would like to show to all of you. And today we would be concluding the Bimba part. And Pratibimba part, when Parashakti would want that, we would discuss later on. So just give me a couple of minutes, just a few seconds, and I'll start.
No problem.
जानामि धर्मं न च मे प्रवृत्तिर् जानाम्य धर्मं न च मे वृत्ति त्वया स्वामिना हृदि स्थितेन यथा नियुक्तो अस्मि तथा करोमि अंतराय तिमिरौघ शान्तये श्रेष्ठ शक्ति करुणारुणापथं सन्तनोतु मुनिवृन्द सेवितं भावगम्यम् अनिशं शिवं महः करुणापूरिचित्तां सच्चिद्रूपां परां दिव्यां ब्रह्म सहचरीं तुर्यां बगलां शक्तिं प्रणौमि सौभाग्याम् यत् कारुण्यं वेक्ष भावभरितं सानंद गीतं सतां तच्चिंता निपुणैः क्षुब्धमतयो ये साधकाः सज्जनाः तेषां लब्ध कृपालवेन जननी बोधोदयो मे अभवत् तदवृत्तं विनिवेद्य साम्प्रतमहं तोषं परं प्राप्तवान्. Jai Mai Maharaj ki to all the Sahayogis present today. First of all, I would request that microphone of a few audiences I think is on. So I would request to turn off the microphone because it's creating noise. So as Rakesh Bhaiya has just now told us that today we would be concluding the first part. So Paratrimshika scripture, Sri Paratrimshika Vivaran is divided into two parts. So the first part is known as Bimba Bhag and second part is known as Pratibimba Bhag. So today we would be concluding Pratibimba Bhag, and it is toughest day for me throughout this session because this entire Paratrimshika is very detailed and intricate scripture with lucid commentary, where Mahamaheshwar Acharya Abhinavgupta ji himself is not merely a sadhak or yogi or siddha mahapurush. He is like a poet who, although writes on a very complicated topic and explains all the things in a intricate manner, but the connection between the topics is like that he, as if he is writing any poem or any story. And when you would read it, and while connecting to the original thought of Mahamaheshwaracharya ji, you would be bound, you would be tied with the content what he has mentioned here. So last time we had discussed about Khechri Samanataram Katham Je Sadhya Kaulit Siddhagam Yen Vigyat Matran Khechri Samtam Vrajet. So today remaining shloks of this Bimba Bhag would be started. So the shlok is second shlok's first line is Etad Guhyam Mahaguhyam Kathaya Somam Prabho. So Mahamaheshwar Acharya Abhinavgupta ji here Guhi and Mahaguhi. The same thing is there, but first it is called as Guhi and then Mahaguhi. In general, you would see that in Tantra, you would see that Bhinday, Bhinday, Chede, Chede, Chate, Chate, Mare, Mare, or Khade, Khade, like that. But here that Anukirtan is not there. Here first Guhyam is said, then Mahaguhyam means superlative format is given. So this is the speciality of trick scripture, that instead of repeating Vipsa, there is superlative representation of word guhya. So Mahamaheshwar Acharya Vinogupta ji explains the guhi and then Mahaguhi. So guhi in general represents means the one, just a minute. Guhi is one which is secret, which is not revealed, that is guhi, and which could not easily be adopted. So that part is called as guhi. So because the fact is that the entire creation is present in is marinated in maya tattva, so that only is represented, is told here as guhi. And the fact is that there is no one else but Parashakti who is revealed in all these formats. So what does he say? Athacha mahat agohyam sarvas evam with chamatkar mayatvat. So Mahaguhya means, Mahaguhi is the word which is known to everyone, but then also it is not revealed. So who is that who is revealed to everyone but not then also not revealed? That is Parashakti Parameshwari Bhagavati Para Bhattarika, Anuttar Bhattarika. She is present in you, me, every single object in this table, in this paperweight, in this telephone, every single object of this world, she is present. But the fact is that we do not realize, we are not able to realize that. That's why she is mentioned here as Mahaguhya. And how is she present? So now he explains this thing, that how is she present. So this is the quality of Mahameshwar Acharya Vinogupta ji. He not only says that, explains Mahaguhi means, ideally if you write a commentary, what would be the flow, means what would be required, that okay, you explain that Mahaguhi, so Mahaguhi. But he not only says that, so he could have concluded by saying that okay, Parashakti is Mahaguhi, and he could have shown some attributes of Parashakti, but it's not that. He explains in detail that how she is Mahaguhya, and means how she hides herself. So he says that Pramata, Praman and Prameya Triputi means a triangle of the form which is made of Pramata, Praman and Prameya. So she reveals in this word in those formats. She revealed in this word in the format of a triangle, that is Trikona Triputi. And in that state, she is also known as Bhagavati Shuddha Vidya. Here it shall be understood that Shuddha Vidya does not mean, here it shall be understood that Shuddha Vidya does not mean Shuddha Vidya Tattva means Shiv, Shakti, Sadashiv, Ishwar, Shuddha Vidya. That Shuddha Vidya Tattva is not mentioned here. Here Shuddha Vidya means Shiva Bodh. The Bodh of Parmeshwar means Shiv, the at the conscious, the attribute which is there in the mind of in the thoughts of Shiv, by which he keeps realizing that he is Shiv. So Mahachiti. So Shuddha Vidya here stands for Mahachiti. So what he says further, he quotes a shlok. So this only is known as Puja Dham and Trishul. I will show the diagram later on. Everyone might have seen that Trishul Kashmir Shaivism, and that Trishul is shown. So here he explains that only Trishul only is Mahaguhya. So he quotes a shlok which is very important for all of us, because we are worshipping Bhagavati Para Bhattarika Mahatripur Sundari as Mahavidya, third Mahavidya. Sa Trikoda Mahavidya Trika Sarvarasaspadam Visarga Padam Evaitat Tasmat Sampujayet Trikam. Sa Trikona Mahavidya. So that Parashakti who reveals in this word in the form of Trikon, which Trikon is what? Pramata, Pramad and Prameya. She only is Mahavidya, means Shuddha Vidya. So that Shuddha Vidya who does not recede from her position, means she would not decline, she would not step down from her position, she would be Parashakti. But then also she would project herself, reflect herself in a form of Trikona. It's like she has created this word, okay, this, and she herself is this word, or you could say that she has put on this word on herself. So I would like to explain one thing. While doing dhyanamana sarva bharana bhushitam, you might have come across this pad sarva bharana bhushitam, means she is adorned in all sort of ornaments. So what is sarva bharana or abharan? Here dharan, when dharan is there. So in case of dharan, what is dharan? In Sanskrit, every single word has very specific meaning. So what is dharan? Dharan is the word which has came into being due to णिच प्रत्यय. अड़ा री अड़ा णिच प्रत्यय. अड़ा ई की मात्रा है च णिच प्रत्यय. So what does dharan mean? Dharan would mean that dharan would mean that even though you it is put on, but then also your main attribute does not change. So for example, you have put on clothes. Everyone is wearing clothes right now. But does it change your personality? Does it change who you are? No. No matter you wear a means a suit, you wear dhoti kurta, you wear sari in case of ladies, or you whatever you wear, night dress, whatever. But the fact is that it does not change your real being. So in that case, Sarva Bharan Bhushitam is used. It means that Bhagwati has put on all the looks. Sarva Bharan means all the Abharan means all the looks means 14, 14 Bhuvan, 14 Bhuvan, and then 114 lok, and then 118 Bhuvans in those lokas. She has put on all of them on herself. Not even single lok is that there which she has not put on herself. So in that case, Mahavidya does this creations means that Parashakti would put on this entire creation on herself. That only said it Sarva Bharana Bhushitam. This is the real meaning of Sarva Bharana Bhushitam. Dhyayet Padmasanastam Viksit Vatnam Padma Patrayata Akshim Hemabham Pitavasram Karkalit Ratistim Parma Banangim Sarva Lankar Yuktam Satatam Abhedam Bhakta Nambram Bhavanim Shri Vidyam Shantamurtim Sakal Surumatam Sarva Sampat Pradatrim. Sarva Lankar Yuktam means Sarva Bharana Bhushitam. A Sarva Lankarikta means she has put on this entire creature on herself. So that only way she is Mahavidya. And that only Strik and Sarva Rasaspada means comprises of all sort of ras. And that only is Visargapad. This only is represented as Visarga means U in Matrika Chakra in vowels. You would say after Ang there is A. So that is Visargapad. Visarga. So that and that she only is that Visargapad. Hence he says Visargapadam evaitat tasmat sampujayet trikam. So why Mahavidya sadhana shall be done? That Acharya Vinogupta explains here, and he says that as she reveals herself in the form of triangle of Pramata, Praman and Prameya. Pramata, you and me and animals, cow, dog, everyone are Pramata. All these scenic beauty scenes, picture, even this computer, what you are visualizing, anything which you realize by perceive by the help of your senses of organs is Prameya. And how do you perceive? You perceive by the help of Praman. Praman means general Praman would stand for proof. So how would you perceive proof? Okay, suppose for example, you are looking at computer right now. Okay, so on computer, you are seeing on screen that a book is displayed and you are listening to some voice. And your mind is telling you that you are listening to something related to Sri Paratrimshika. But how is it that? How your mind is realizing this Prameya means this scene which is Prameya, that it is Paratrimshika, because you have a Praman. You have a Praman. What Praman is that? That book is open. That is one Praman. And then another Praman, another is that I am speaking on the same topic. So both the things and are together. So in that case, this is the Praman by which you are perceiving that this Prameya means the screen and this audio. The screen view and audio is Paratrimshika. So one who reveals in this word herself is Pramata, Praman and Prameya, or precisely everything which is present in this word only is Mahavidya. And she is only Trika, and Sarva Rasaspadam comprises of all sort of ras. So Neel and Sukh means objective existence and some subjective existence. So because everything is her only, there is nothing which she is not there. You go to means Kadi, I go to Datia. So everyone goes to Guru Dham and goes to Mandir, does sadhana in home. What is that? So when everything is her, then these sadhana sthan also are her. So the fact is that instead of muttering here and there, wandering here and there, finding out some proper channel, it is better to take abode of that Parashakti. And who is that Parashakti? She is Trika, she is Mahapuja, Satrikona Mahavidya, Trika, Sarvarasaspadam, Visargapadam evetat tasmat sampujayet trikam. Hence, the strik shall be worshipped. And how is it the strik? So first, this triangle. Look at this triangle. Okay, this is the triangle. So strik comprises when the discussion is of Shiva, Shakti, and Nar. Then it is strik. When it is discussion of Akul Shiv and Kul Shakti, in Kul Shakti, Nar would come. So Nar is not discussed separately in Kaul. In case of Kaul, Nar is not separately discussed. But in case of Trik, Nar is separately discussed. But it does not change anything. Okay, so you do not think that something has been added, so something is not there. In Shakti, only Nar attribute is specifically highlighted so that you may be able to realize your real position, and then the position which is Shakti by which you would reach to supreme position is Shiv. And when you would reach to Shiv, all these three would merge. And when all these three would merge, it would be state of Anuttar. And then what would happen? Khechri Sam would happen. That only is Kaudiki Siddhi. So this is the trick. And in this triangle, you would see in the center, it's written Chaturdik Anuttar. In the center, you would see Chaturdik Anuttar. So Pramata is Ichha, Prameya Kriya, and Praman is Jnana Shakti. So it is very clear. Pramata is Ichha, means you are willing to see. You are willing to listen to or join this class. That Pramata has Ichha. And what is this Gyan? This Gyan is Praman. This Gyan is proof. And what is Prameya? That whatever you are doing means by the virtue of this, that is Prameya. So Kriya Shakti is involved there. And another format of this is this triangle. You might have seen this triangle a lot of time online and in various other forums. So this is nothing but this is Trika Trishul. So Prameya, Praman, and so you would see that Praman, Pramata, and Prameya. So this is, and around this Chaturdik Anuttar is there. So Shakti, in center it is Shiv and Nar, and then here I do not know whether if I am highlighting so it's visible on your screen. In the center of where all the three pikes of Trishul are meeting, at that point this is Unmana state where Bhagavati Anuttar Bhattarika resorts. So this is that Trik Trishul. Okay. So now Anuttar ki aham, now Acharya Abhinav talks about Prasar and Sanghar Krida of Anuttar. So this triangle is displayed and we have already discussed this thing various times. How to just a minute. Now you see on that A is written here. A is written here, and then A is Anuttar. We have already seen. Then Ha. Ha is Shakti. So first spread is from Anuttar to Shakti, and that is A to Ha. And then it is Ma to Aham. So this only is Aham Pratyavamarsh. This only is called as Aham Pratyavamarsh. And then this is Prasarakram or the sequence of creation. And then there is Sangharakram, which is Maha. So what Abhinav says, Abhinav Srishti Maha Janani. So in that case, Aham and Maha we have discussed on very first day of class. Abhinav Srishti Maha Janani. So in case of Maha Janani, because Sanghar. So where all the doubts are clarified, when there is no doubt left. So what is that state? That is the state of Anuttar. Because Anuttar is the state of absolute. Doubt means there is something which is less. So when it is a state of absolute, there is nothing which is less. So that is Maha Anuttar. So from Ma Nar, you would reach to the state of Ha, means Shakti, and from Shakti you would reach to the state of A. Now there is one thing which is very important, and I would like to highlight here, and that is in Trikshas it is specifically mentioned that when you apply mantra, you shall apply Shakti only, not Shiv, because Shiv is inert, and not Nar, which is Ma, because Nar is Jad. Only Shakti is the place where you could apply mantra. So that's why in Vigyan Bhairav it is said that in Vigyan Bhairav it's mentioned as Shaivi Mukham Ihuchate. And all those who might have read Upanishads, Ken Upanishad. So Ken Upanishad mein Uma Hemavati means Uma Devi is mentioned, and there is a story in Ken Upanishad that Devatas defeat Asura. So when the Devatas defeat Asura, they develop arrogance that they have defeated the Asura. So all of a sudden, daughter of Himalaya, Uma Devi comes there, and she tells to Devatas, she puts a piece of grass in front of Devatas and ask Varun Dev to, okay, you flow it, and then Vayu Dev, okay, you blow it in the air, but Agni Dev, she asks Agni Dev to burn it in the fire, but they all fail. So what happens? Indra comes and asks who you are. So while explaining this, Adi Shankaracharya ji says that Brahma cannot be realized without Brahma Vidya, and that Uma Devi is Brahma Vidya. So Shuddha Shakti, Para Shakti only is Brahma Vidya. So few people say that Vedanta is Mayavadi and there is no acceptance of Shakti. All this is nonsense. Those who have not read properly the Upanishads only say this thing. You read Ken Upanishad in Brahma Sutra only. There is a sutra which is Kampanat, means by the virtue of Kampan creation happens. So who does Kampan? Kampanat means Spandan. There is a sutra, and Acharya explains it as it is. Then there is Audolomi Rishi who talks about moksha, and then to this Badarayana says that that moksha is of Tantra Vidya. In the fourth chapter Paladhyaya of Brahma Sutra, fourth pad, various mokshas are explained. So I would like to tell you, some people may find it surprising that Badarayana cancels the moksha of Gita, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. He says that he praises Bhagavad Gita, but says that the follower of Bhagavad Gita would attain the moksha of Sankhya Darshan only. He would not attain the absolute moksha. But in the same sequence, when Maharshi Audolomi discussion comes, Maharshi Audolomi says that everyone when becomes mukta becomes like chit. So Badarayana says that although this is different, but we do not have any contradiction and we accept this thing. And Acharya Shankar also says the same thing. So the fact is that this Shakti Tattva is very much essential and potential in Upanishads. And that only is known as Brahma Vidya. And there are 17, 18 kind of Vidyas in Vaishwanar Vidya, Dahar Vidya. So Dahara Kash Rupini, Lalita Devi, Tripur Sundari is Dahara Kash Rupini. So Dahar Vidya. She is mentioned as Dahar Vidya in Upanishad. And Dahar Vidya is of Parashakti. If you will read Dahar Vidya specifically, you can search on Google also. So you will find that Dahar Vidya is Parashakti. Here that is not the discussion. So that is the thing. Then Acharya Abhinavgupta explains in detail what is Mahaguhyam. Now Mahaguhya we have already seen that she is Shuddha Vidya. And Shuddha Vidya means both of Shiv, means realization of Shiv, that he is Shiv is Shuddha Vidya, and that is Mahaguhya. So in your case, you also realize, you also know that you are a Shiv. But what is the problem? The problem is that you are captured by Maya, Mal, means impurities. So by the virtue of those impurities, even though you are Shiv and realization is there, you are not able to perceive that realization. You are not able to perceive that realization. It's like some person is very rich, but suppose he has entered in coma. He is living in his mansion. He has huge amount of money, but when he is in coma, he would not be able to realize that he has such a big mansion and he has millions of dollars bank balance and so many industries, so many people are working under him. He has such a such a social and powerful social and economical and political standard in society, all that, because he is in coma. So same way you are. I do not say you are in coma because Pranana Kala is there, so coma is not there, but it's an example, just an example. You are Shiv, its realization is there, but that realization is covered by impurities. So Mahaguhya explains in two ways. So first is Maha means in the state of Bhairava, that which is Anuttar Kala, that only in the state of after Sanghar, that Anuttar Kala only pervades, and that only is, this is the great secret, that is Guhya. So this way he explains. And second definition he gives in terms of Shakti. What he says, she is Shiva Vidya Rupini, cave of Maya, and who is the source of origin of every single human being. Okay. Then in case of Nar, so Acharya says that when male and female come together, it's very clearly written here, it could be read. So in the state of that unity, when male and female, man and woman come together, so in that state of unity, the realization, and the Anand, that Anand is that supreme secret. Okay. So in case of, then he explains, kyunki etad guhyam mahaguhyam kathay samam prabho. So he kathay is means to speak, that is simple. Swa means your own soul, atma. Here atma does not means Sukshma Sharir. Atma means see, Jeev and Atma two different things. Soul and Atma two different things. What is soul? When person dies, his Atma would carry impression of his previous lives. Sukshma Sharir would be there. Subtle body would be there. So that would be Jeev. But when a mukta, when the jeev becomes mukt, there are no previous sanskar and sukshma and karana sharir, there is no such sharir, then atma is mukt. It does not have impressions of previous karma. So when all the karma bandhan is open and complete jnana is acquired, so then he is atma. So swa means atma. Or prabhu means, here he says that by swamam prabhu, prabhu is connotation means to express, so to means to to denote, what to say, संबोधन है, मीन्स संबोधन मीन्स टू कॉल, है ना, ओके, Mr. XYZ please come. So in that Mr. XYZ is that sambodhan, means to call someone, that is there. So then he explains all this, and later on he explains the mum again, that okay, this mum is limited thing, and after that he explains swamam completely. So it is said that when there is, when in yourself, when your individual being, mum means, mum stand for individual being, become united with swa, means your all your worldly identities, your limited identities dissolve in your own atma tattva. So that state is known as swamam, kathaya swamam prabho. So etad guhyam mahagam kathaya swamam prabho. So by this he explains that who could understand, to whom this Mahagui could be told, who could know this Mahagui, who could know this Mahavidya, or Mahagui Shuddha Vidya, Shiva Vidya, Shuddha Vidya. So the one who has dissolved all his worldly identities in his real self or soul, अपने आत्म तत्व में जो विलीन कर ले, उसके लिए ये है. So that's what he has explained. And then in case of samadhi, he says that okay, in samadhi, that there is no such thought that okay, this is mine and yours. And then he cracks a joke also on the philosophies on Mayavad, that okay, he says that yanna kinchan mameti dinatam prapnuvanti jalajantavo anisham tanna kinchan mamasmi sarvami tikdharam duram upai vanaham. He says that there are few people who say that there is nothing which is me, because some philosophies say that okay, except me there is nothing, anirvachaniyata ka baat, anirvachaniyata baat, because except me nothing is true. So what to say when everything is except me nothing is true, then what to say? But Abhinav says that everything is me. Tanna kinchan mamasmi sarvami dharam duram upei vanaham. What is that which is not me? So this is the state of swamam. So in the case of here in this case, what would happen here in this case? The fact is that the realization would be different. The realization would be different, that this entire world is me. Entire world is me. So that is the state of swamam. Then he explains another shlok. Then we will go on to another, because time is running and we have to conclude Bimba Bhag today. And so that's why I'm taking up only the important features of the shloks, because when Bhagavati would want, I pray that we shall get a chance to deep dive in this Sri Paratrimshika, and we shall study it by self. Then only then we would be able, I pray that we be able to understand it more. So Hridayastha tu ya Devi Kauliki Kulanayika Tam me Katha Devesha Yena Triptim Labhamyam. So what does it mean? Hridayastha tu ya Shakti Kauliki Kulanayika, that Shakti who resides in Hriday. Tam me Katha Devesh, oh Devesh, you tell me about her. Yena Triptim Labhamyam, by so that I may earn the Tripti, so that I may get satisfied. So the fact is here the satisfaction is related to absolute satisfaction. The satisfaction is related to absolute satisfaction, and it is not partial satisfaction. Why? Because the Shakti who resides in Hriday, Hridayastha tu ya Shakti, who is Kauliki and Kulanayika, who is Kauliki Shakti and Kulanayika. Okay. So let me, you tell me about her, so that I may become satisfied means here knowing is not theoretical knowledge. Theoretical no. Theoretically no. Here, when the desire to know is there, then it is subject to realization. The realization shall be there. Then only yana tripti and then only the tripti means perfect satisfaction of perfection would come. So then he explains what is hridaya. So hriday he explains in two levels. One is at the level vishwotirna, means when the word is not there. So what he says that hriday is a place. Hriday is a place where every all the subjective and objective existence exist. Okay, so means everything means all this means your feelings, your thoughts, and all these objects of this word or any word. 118 words are there in four look. All those where all those exist, that only is a hriday. In case of Vishwamaya Avastha means the state in which we are present right now, it would be that uh, it is the source of energy from which you are able to realize the essence and original form of every single object. And the hriday is same which we have discussed on very first day. Here hriday is not human heart. Hriday is same, which is explained. And again, I will not explain because it is great secret. Now he explains Kulnaika. Kulnaika shabd is Kulnaika word continuously comes up in our discussions. We have seen this word Kulnaika various times. So what is that Kulnaika? So he explains Kulnaika at three levels. One is at the level of Anuttar, Shakta Bhumika, and then at Shakta Bhumika, and then at Nar Bhumika, because Shiv, Shakti, and Nar. So at the level of Anuttar, it is already explained that means whatever you have to perceive in this word Grahak Samudaya means whatever you have to perceive through this body. So of the source by which your senses of organs are energized. Okay, suppose I am speaking, you are listening to me, you are seeing, you are touching something, maybe your hands are doing something. So all 10 senses of organs are active. No matter they are means they are all are active. No matter ये matter कोई मतलब नहीं. No matter they are means all 10 senses of organs are active. So the energy, the shakti which has made them active is Kulnaika. That shakti only is Kulnaika. Same is Brahmi आदि इत्यादि देवियों के चक्र का बल बने हुए रूप में अवस्थित है. Means the Karaneshwari Devi, she is the energy who is operating your Antakaran and Bahikaran. Okay, so at Anuttar level. Then at Shakta level, Sushumna Nadi. That Sushumna Nadi at the level of Shaktopaya. She is Sushumna Nadi. So that's why Sushumna Nadi पे प्रयोग किए जाते हैं. Okay, then at Nar Bhumika, see, it is very clearly mentioned the organ of origin of a lady is Kauliki Shakti. Okay, so Kauliki mein, now he explains Kauliki Shakti mein word Kauliki, no, okay, Kulnaika. Now he explains Kauliki Shakti. So he says that even though she resorts in this world, it is very important thing which everyone shall focus upon. Even though she exists as Trikona, Pramata, Pramana, and Prameya Trikona, but then also she is above Atigat means above Akul Shiva. Kula Shakti in Kaula Sampradaya, Kula Shakti is above Shiva, Akul Shiva. It shall always be considered, it shall always be kept in mind that Kula Shakti is always above Akul Shiv, and that's why she is known as Kauliki Shakti. And then he gives another definition and he defines who is Kaul, because we all are doing Kaul sadhana and we all want to become Kaulacharya. Kaul. So who is Kaul? He says that Akul is okay. So Akul only is Kaul, because why? because he only is present as Chinmatra, means Chetan Tattva, in every single being. So he only is Kaul. And this so here a samarasya is shown in these two definitions. First, a kauliki shakti. In case of a kauliki shakti, kule bhava api akula, in that case she is explained as she is above akul shiv. But then when explaining kaul, it is said that akul, she is above akul. No, akul only who is chinma, who is present as chinmatra in every single object, is Kaul, and he only is known as Shivakala. So who is Kaul? So that Chetan Tattva in you, whatever means. I do not say that we are human beings, that we are at Nar state, and we have some limited Chetana. Means some sort of Chetana is that okay, what we are running for, and that okay, we know that there is some reality of the world, and we are not mad behind this word. So up to some level, that Chetana is there. So that even if 0.1%, 0.0%, whatever Chetana is present in us, even in animal and in plants also, whatever Chetana up to some extent is present, that Chetana is Kaul. So when that Chetana becomes full, absolute in you, you become Kaulacharya. And then he explains the tan mein katha hai, sare tam mein katha hai. He explains the grammatical differentiation. And then here comes Shri Bhairav Uvach. So Uvach is already explained. Shri Bhairav Uvach is already explained. So Bhairav Uvach is state of Maha. Okay. So what he says, that Bhairav Uvach is Maha. So here one who answers is known as Paravaktra or Aghoravaktra. Okay. The one who gives answer is known as Paravaktra or Aghoravaktra. Okay, so and what is answer? Then again, this is reiterated here. What is the answer? So answer is Sanghara Krama. Maha means from Jeev, you start from Jeev, leave to the Parapara Samviti, means Hakala, Shakti Tattva, and then Para Samviti, that is Anuttar Kala. Okay, so Maha, that is answer. So Sanghar, here Sanghar stands for, Sanghar stands for Sanghar stands for Sanghar of doubt. Sanghar stands for Sanghar of your incompleteness. Sanghar stands for Sanghar of any kind of thought which has kept you away from you being Anuttar. Any state of anything which is any residual part in mind, because whatever is not allowing you to be Anuttar is residual only. It is not vast. It is merely a portion. It is merely a fragment. It is infringement, just an infringement. It's not huge. It's just an infringement. Like you say that okay, 24 karat gold, so it's not 24. It is 23.5 or 23.8, something like that. But you are gold. Only that 0.2%, 0.5%, that impurity makes you impure and makes you Jeev from Anuttaratva. So that partial correction, which makes you absolute Anuttar. So that only is Sanghar here, and that Sanghar only is Maha, and that only is supreme answer. And then we have already seen that Prashna and Uttar ki ek rupta, means Prashna and Uttar both are same, because in both the cases Aham Pratyavamarsh only deliberates. In both the cases Aham Pratyavamarsh only deliberates. The only thing is that in case of Maha, that Aham Pratyavamarsh deliberates in reverse order. So I would like, means it shall be understood that only Shakti is playing. Like Shodashi is Shodashi and Kali is called as Ama Shakti, Ama Kala. So because all her kalas resort in her, she Amavasya is very important in her. Amavasya means, I mean, everything resorts in Ama. All the kalas resort in Ama. So that is Amavasya. Similarly, Shodashi also is complete. That way Ama also is complete. But Ama is the Sanghara Kram and Shodashi is Srishti Kram. But in that case also there is no difference between Shodashi and Ama. Both are same Shakti. Only the thing is that Bhagavati Parashakti has revealed herself in two different manners. And then Shrunu Devi Mahabhage, उत्तरस्यापनुत्तरं कौलिको अयं विधिर्देवी मम हृदय व्योम्न्यवस्थितः कथयामि सुरेशानी सद्यः कौलिक सिद्धिदम. So now Bhagwan starts, Shri Bhairav Uva, so Bhagwan says that Shrunu Devi Mahabhage, O Devi Mahabhag, you listen to me, Uttarasya Panuttaram. You answer to Anuttar which you have asked, Kauliko I am Vidhir Devi. Hey Devi, this is Kaulika Vidhi, which resorts in my Hridaya Vyom, means cavity of my heart. Which resorts in cavity of my heart. And because she is Kauliki Shakti, she is related here, everything is related to creation and destruction. So Hridaya is same, and that in state of Anuttar also, that Hridaya exists, but that is not in Kramik, means that is not sequential. That is beyond any sequences. That is within him, and it cannot be traced. That is there, but it cannot be traced ordinarily. It can only be realized. Means you cannot see that, okay, this much is Anuttar, okay, this Anuttar is of the size of this table, okay, this part, see this part, okay, I put a finger here, okay, this part is Hridaya Vyom. So that way it cannot be traced. It can be realized. So he says, Mam Hrid Vyom Navasita Kathayami Sureshani Sadhya Kauli Siddhitam. Hey Sureshani means Lord of Devatas. Hey, goddess of Devatas, Lord of Devatas, Ishani of Devatas, I am telling it by which even by realizing you will attain the Kaulika Siddhi. So this is the answer. He explains Mahabhaga in six ways. So I am not taking up this thing. And then by explaining Shrinu he has explained in very detailed manner. So he talks about Shravana Satya Sankala Anusandhan. He says that Parashakti can listen to every single thing. In later part, in Pratibimba Bhag, Acharya Abhinav Gupta talks about some yogic practices also. He talks about some yogic practices also, by which you could be able to realize, you could be able to listen to even the voice of animals. And he quotes Maharshi Patanjali, Vibhuti Pad, something from Vibhuti Pad. He quotes and he says that everything could be heard. So here he says a Sankalan Anusandhan. He talks about Sankalan Anusandhan, means what is that? If suppose I speak ka, ma, la. I have given this example previously in Kashi at Kashi Hindu Vishwavidyalaya, that Kala Sankarshani Sadhana. It's something related to that. So when I say ka, ma, la, so when ka sound comes up, it means pacifies, and then there is a gap, and then I speak ma, and then again there is gap, and then I speak la, then again there is gap. So ka, ma, la. So here we are able to understand what is said, ka, ma, la. So in between gap, what is that? That gap, in that gap, the gap is Kal Sankarshani. She is Samvid Shakti. She is present there, that's why you are able to realize. Otherwise, if suppose nothing is realized, because that Shakti does not resort there, or she resorts, but the fact is that your brain is not able enough to understand those sayings. Like in case of crow, Acharya gives an katara. In case of crow, he gives example katara, because crow has different kind of language. So the fact is that even though they speak, we are not able to comprehend, because our mind is able to comprehend this noise only. Okay, so because all animals have their own senses of organs and their own way by which they operate. So they realize it. Human brain is supreme brain. It can realize all kind of sounds. But the thing is, you will have to do the practices. So for that Sankala Anusandhan Siddhi. So Shrinu Devi Mahabhage mein Shrinu stands for the in Tritiyam Brahma Sushroni, there is Shlok Tritiyam Brahma Sushroni, means Sushroni. Sushroni means one who has beautiful thighs in general. But Acharya says that Sushroni means one who has beautiful hearing capability. So there he explains all these things. So Sankala Anusandhan की बात करते हैं, and that's all is it's mentioned here that औसत दर्जे के परमात्मा में स्वातंत्र पर्याप्त मात्रा में नहीं होता, अतः वह चारों ओर होने वाले कलकल में डूबे हुए सार्थक विषयों को मैं, he says that means Swatantra is not there in limited pramatas, empirical pramatas, like humans like us. So we are not able to realize, means if suppose huge noise is there, we would not be able to recognize who is saying what. But if suppose you accomplish this Kauliki Siddhi, means then Sankalanusandhan would become Siddh, then you would be able to listen to every single whatever. If suppose 1,000 people are sitting, 100 people are there, you would be able to listen to all of them. Shatavadhani. So all this is there. And then this only is explained by him in details, means that topic only is explained by him in details. See how dhvani comes to various levels, all that. Then there is very important topic, which is now he explains that Nar Shakti Shiv Rupi. He explains Nar Shakti and Shiv formed Nar Shakti and Shiv formed Trik. So what does he says? He says that we all have read, we all have seen Shri Durga Saptashati. So that Durga Saptashati is divided to three parts: Pratham Purush, Pratham Charitra, Madhyam Charitra, and Uttam Charitra. So in Sanskrit Vyakaran, Pratham Purush stands for third person. Madhyam Purush is you, and as I am speaking, for me I am Uttam Purush, and for you, you are Uttam Purush, and I am Madhyam Purush. So one himself is Uttam Purush. One to whom he is talking is Madhyam Purush, and third person is Pratham Purush. So he gives an example, and he says that Pratham Purush is Nar. He says that Pratham Purush is Nar, Madhyam Purush is Shakti, and Uttam Purush is Shiv himself. So that's what is the essence of Shri Durga Saptashati also. That at first chapter, what happens? Brahma means in which Samadhi and Surat Vaishya go to forest, and they started listening to the stories of from Maharishi Medha. But at that state they are in Nar Avastha. Madhyam Purush में they reach to Shakti Avastha, means they get Sattark. Sattark जागृत होता है, and when Sattark is accomplished, Guru की सिद्धि होती है. So they get Diksha. And after that, in Uttam Charitra, what happens? They realize their real self. So that's why, so they reached a state of Anuttar. So that's why Pratham Charitra, Madhyam Charitra, and Uttam Charitra is of Shri Durga Saptashati. So he explains all this in detail, and then he takes another example. Just a minute. These are the tables. So Shiv Bhav में Para Shakti Akala A Abhed Ichha Pramata Uttam Purush Ek Vachan. Now in Ek Vachan, Dvivachan, Bahuvachan also he explains the same thing. If suppose there are so many people, so when I say there are hundreds of people, so when I say hundreds of people, then it means that there is discrimination which is pervading. So it is state of Nar. But when there are two, means me and Shakti, me and Devta, when you reach to a state that मैं हूँ और देवता है मेरा, मैं हूँ मेरा आराध्य है, so that is Shakti state, Madhyam Purush, which is Dvivachan, which is represented by Dvivachan, because मैं हूँ और मेरा देवता है. And when you and your devta becomes one, that is Ek Vachan. So that's what he has mentioned, that Ek Vachan is Shiva Bhav, Dvivachan is Shakti Bhav, and Bahuvachan is Nar Bhav. So this way this is active, and he says that even though even in case of Pratham Purush, Madhyam Purush, and Uttam Purush, and then in Ek Vachan, Dvivachan, and Bahuvachan, means singular and plural. In English, singular and plural only are there, but in Sanskrit there is means Bahuvachan, Dvivachan means for two also there is two also it is there. Otherwise, in English and Hindi, it is singular and plural only, not Dvivachan is not there. So he says that in all these revelations, only that Parashakti exists. In all these revelations, only that Parashakti exists. So this is what he says. And then he explains all this in detail, ki how from Madhyam Purush state you reach to Uttam Purush state and all that. So he says that, okay, sometimes you directly go to Uttam Purush state. So that all is effort of, that all is grace, that all is Shakti path. And how Shaktipat would happen? Shaktipat would happen by when you would become pure by the virtue of sadhana. So that he has explained. And then again, same type of table is explained given here, and same discussion goes on. This is very long discussion which he has done. Then he explained Uttara Sap Anuttaram. So he says that Uttar means uh, one which is beyond this word, and that is Anuttar. And he has given various definitions of it as per grammar. So Uttara Sapi Anuttaram. So what he says, uh, his thought is that uh, uh, the means that we have seen the Tarap and Tama Pratyaya example which we have discussed earlier also. So Uttara Sap Anuttaram, in that state, what happens that Parmeshwar is speaking at the level of Pashanti Vani. Okay, means when Bhairav and Bhairavi Samvad happen, it happens at the level of Pashanti Vani. But the fact is that there is something beyond it, and that is Anuttar. So in that way, he has explained in various ways. So in one case, see that he has explained in Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and Kriya Shakti also. That is Trika Trishul. So beyond that Trik Trishul, so if you will see that Trik Trishul or Trik triangle, uh, let me see if it is there on my screen or not. So if you see a triangle, what you would find is that there is fourth lotus on the center, and that is Unmana state. So that state also is very important. So that is Anuttar state. So same way he explains that Uttar means beyond, means you simply take it that beyond all the present states which are known by mind. Beyond that is Anuttar. So that only said that Uttara Sap Anuttaram. तो श्रृणु देवी महाभागे तरस्यापनुत्तरम. हे महाभाग, हे देवी, ओ देवी महाभाग, ओ extremely fortunate Devi, listen hear about that Anuttar which is beyond Uttar. Means Uttar is a limit. It's a human limit. It's a limit, and beyond that limit, when all the limits break, means beyond Pashanti, I say that all the kram breaks down. There is no kram. Akram means no sequences there. Means Vaikhari, Madhyaman, Pashanti, and at the level Para there is no kram. In Paravani state, you cannot identify, okay, the scripture is here, and okay, this is page number 1, page number 2, this is shlok number 1, 2. Here, there, everything would be present in the form of Shuddha Samvid only. Everything is present in Paravani at the level of Shuddha, as a Shuddha Samvid only, not as something which is which could be identified in separate format. Okay, this is okay. See, in Paravadi, I could see that Swachhanda Tantra is there, and that is Tantra Lok, and see that is beyond Tantra Lok. You can see Rudrayamal. Oh, yes, I can see Brahmayamal also. That way it will not be there. In Paravadi, what would happen? Everything is in the form of Shuddha Samvid, Shuddha Chetana. So there is no sequence. So that is Anuttar. So that's all he has explained here. And then he cancels the thoughts of Mam Hrida Vyomni Avasthita. So the heart. So what he says. Again, the heart has already been explained. So what he says that heart of Anuttar means that Mahachiti Shakti, who is heart of Anuttar, who becomes organ of production in this world. Beta phone mein jao. That heart of Anuttar is what? That is Mahachiti only. Mam Hrida Vyom Navastita means in Mahachiti only, that Shuddha Samvid only, this Anuttar, secrets of Anuttar are present. That's what he explains. And then he explains in Sanghara Kram ki avastha, means Maha and Aham and Maha, that has already been explained. He has again explained it in intricate manner, and it is very important to read all this, because today we are concluding Bimba Bhag, so that's why I'm taking up in this rapid manner. Otherwise, these are something which shall be, means I request everyone shall read this properly. And the Sadhya also has been explained, that Sadhya means instantly. Okay, Sadhya means instantly. There is nothing, then in case of Sadhya, he say that okay, what present tense is Parashakti. That way also he has explained all these things. And then Kaulik Siddhidam. So Kauliki Shakti, we have already seen who is Kauliki Shakti and Kolanaika, and the Siddhi of her is Kauliki Siddhi. Okay. So after that, he cancels the thoughts of those who have given wrong interpretation, who say that there is something Uttar and then Anuttar. So Uttar means Shakt who, so he cancels those who say that Uttar stands for Shaktaswar and Anuttar stands for Shivaswar. Achar says it very clearly that at the level of Anuttar there is neither Shiv or Shakti. Because when Shiv and Shakti come together, then that is Anuttar and that is state of Param Kaul. So he cancels that definition, and then he concludes this and says that he calls this the commentary of Purva means Bimba Bhag as Vyakhya Bhanu. Bhanu means sun, which clears all the doubts. So Vyakhya Bhanu, and he offers this to the in the feet of Bhagavati. And I conclude here. Jai Mai Maharaj ki.
Rakesh Bhaiya, we can't hear you. Uh,
Hello.
Girirata ji, can you hear? Girirata ji, can you hear?
Yes.
Rakesh Bhaiya, looks like there is some issue there with you. We are able to hear him. Somehow I'm not able to hear you. गिरीश ने एक छोटा सा प्रश्न था. The traditional interpretation of Kampanath is because of fear, but you use a nice word saying it's because of Spandan. I would like to know the difference, please.
Kampan is fear. No. Ejri Kampanat in Brahma Sutra, Kampanat Sutra is there. Okay. So to explain that Kampan, Acharya Vinogupta, Adi Shankaracharya does exposition and says that Ejri Kampanat, Dhatvarth, Anvarth, he gives Ajan means shaking is there. So that he says, and then he explains it in the from Chandogya Upanishad in detail, and says that this creation is by the virtue of Kampan. So I was referring to that Brahma Sutra only to just to highlight the Shakti Tattva.
Okay, ji, understood.
So as Rakesh Bhaiya is not able, is not microphone is not working today, I would like to say thanks to all of you who were present with me and who are my Sahyogi in this sadhana of Sri Paratrimshika. The main objective of organizing this session was to introduce this most important Shakt Granth. As I have to conclude, I would like to tell that in Bimba Bhag itself, there are various important topics. Acharya, if suppose Bimba Bhag is read, in sadhana form, sadhana of Bimba Bhag, Pratibimba Bhag is done, you would be able to understand the meaning of these mantras also, and it would be very easy. And when you will read the Bij mantras, immediately the meaning of that Bij mantra would come in your mind, and you would feel filled with bliss. And that only Acharya Abhinav says that one who is devoid of aham, means essence of aham means essence of any mantra, can is not eligible to explain any mantra. Okay, so that would come into you. And then later on, he also explains the Tritiyam Brahma, and then he explains the meaning of mantra, which is Amrit Bij and Para Bij, which is in Sri Vidya Sadhanakram. He also explains how Bhagavati, that trick Trishul which I have seen, that trident Trishul which I have seen, that only is Sadashiv. That Trishul only is Sadashiv, on whom Bhagavati resorts on Panchapritasan. So all this he has explained in details. That would come in Bimba Bhag. Later on, he explains the meaning of Amrit Bij, and he says that in letter Sa, Au, and Ah, all this entire 36 tattvas and their bhuvans resort. Then later on, he tells about the yogic techniques by which miraculous powers can be accomplished. This also is there. And then that Sa is called as Tritiyam Brahma. And Sa is very important. Sa letter in itself is very important mantra. If you will see Sa, means, because time is running, so I will not go in detail. And then later on, he concludes the scripture, and he tells about his family background, and he tells that few of his disciples and his brother, all those who requested him, for them he has written this Vivarana commentary, and that is the main purpose. So when Bhagavati would want, we would certainly take up that Pratibimba Bhag also in the future. And for that, for your time and patience, and whatever I was able to explain, I have told you. If suppose there is something wrong, because certainly I'm not any siddhacharya, mm, just an ordinary person. So whatever I was able to articulate, I have tried to explain you, and I seek your forgiveness, means you kindly forgive me if suppose I have told something wrong and which you were uh, not means which is not up to the mark as per you. And from next week onwards, we are planning to start with Shiv Sutra, because few of our Sahyogis have requested that first we shall take up Shiv Sutra. So Shiv Sutra, we would not take up any detailed commentary. We would merely take the sutras and their literal meaning, because detailed commentaries are already there. So many people have spoken on that, and there is no further requirement of reading that detailed commentary. The only thing is we will read the short commentary. Means only understand what sutras say. So the next week, the first class would be introductory class. What is Shiv Sutra? What is its background? And then we will start. And within, I would try to conclude in 3 weeks. And for that, I again thank you specifically. I thanks to Rakesh Bhaiya, because he has given me this platform where I was able to speak on the Sri Paratrimshika. My heartfelt gratitude to him, because Paratrimshika is something which lives in my heart. And there are something which I would like to share with you today. My Gurudev has ordered me to do a vritti of Paratrimshika every month, and once twice khandan, it became khandit, means khandit ho gayi. 2 बार I was not able to complete. So one time I I missed my book at some other location. Means I used to live at Sitapur, and now I am living at Raebareli. So you might be seeing the change in background also, and from first class to this class, background has also changed. So, and the another thing which has happened, second time when it happened, rats ate 4 pages of Paratrimshika scripture. Only 4 pages. So many books were there in the bag, and they ate 4 pages. So I was punished badly for this. So every month, as per directions of Sri Gurudev, I have to do its Parayan of Sri Paratrimshika. And if suppose I am not able to do, I feel like I am dry. So I am sharing this experience with all of you, because you can read so many books. Means if suppose if you want, I can show you all around the books are there. If you will see, all around books are there. But it is my personal understanding that Shri Paratrimshika is supreme Shakta Granth. together along with Sri Durga Saptashati. Both are supreme Shakti scripture. And then all other scriptures start after this. So Paratrimshika, if suppose someone wants to attain the blessings of Parashakti and Shodashi, so Paratrimshika would be the best way to attain that. And by that, I say Dhanyavad to all of you. Jai Mai Maharaj.